Hello. I just thought I'd go over the Chapter 10 review real quick for you. So if you have questions on just specific problems, go ahead and fast forward through this. But I'll just kind of give you the basics, and then if you still have questions, go ahead and contact me before you have your test. So the first question was, what is the area of the triangle? Well, you just have to know that it's 1/2 times base times height. So you're going to have 1/2 times 5 times 12, and you should end up with 30 centimeters squared. Next one was a parallelogram has a 12-inch base. If the parallelogram has an area of 156 square inches, what's the height? So the area of this is going to be base times height. And if the area is 156 and the base is 12, you're just solving for h, and you should get 13, I believe. The next one, what's the area of a rhombus? If one diagonal is 8 centimeters, the other is 10. So you just need to know the formula of 1/2 times diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. So you'll have 1/2 times 8 times 10, which should give me 40, whatever this is, centimeters squared. I guess I didn't put a label on this, inches. The area of the trapezoid, that formula is going to be, my pen's lagging here, 1/2 times the sum of your bases times your height. So 1/2 times my base 4 and 9, and my height is 5. So I think I get half of 65, so I get 32.5 centimeters squared. Area of a kite, that's the same formula as a rhombus. So you're going to have 1/2 times each diagonal. So 1/2 times 5 times 12. So I should get 30 kilometers. That's a big kite squared. And then the area of a square is 100 square inches. What's the perimeter? Well, if it's a square, each side then is going to have to be, that's a wonderful square. Each side would have to be 10 inches in order for the area to be 100 square inches. So then the perimeter, oh my, is going to be 40 inches. This next one, which I believe is like the 7th one on the quiz, says, what is the circumference of circle A in terms of pi? Okay, well, we know the radius, and we're looking for circumference. Circumference is diameter times pi, so my diameter must be 10, so that's my answer, 10 pi. What is the area of circle Q in terms of pi? Well, the area is going to be pi r squared. So I'm going to take my radius and square it. My radius is 10. 10 squared is 100, so I should have 100 pi. And I guess I should put a label on that, inches squared, and the label on this was just feet. This is what's the area of the composite figure rounded to the nearest tenth. Okay, so I have a semicircle or a half circle right here, and I have a right triangle. For the right triangle though, and I guess for the circle, you do need to find this length right here. So I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem to find the length. So I'm going to have my a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I have 3 squared plus whatever my b is equals 5 squared. And I get b squared equals 16. So b equals 4. So this whole length is 4. And now I can find the right triangle. Okay, so that's going to be 1/2 times base times height. So that's going to be 1/2 times 3 times 4, which gives me 6. And then my half circle, that's going to be, I should make those arrows, that's going to be your area of a circle, pi r squared, but divided by 2. Okay? So I will have, my radius is 2 squared. So I have 4 divided by 2. So I have 2 pi. So I need to take this and add it with this. Woof, that's pretty rough. I'm going to grab my calculator real quick. Uh, 12.28, so 12.3 kilometers squared. Hopefully that made sense. Find the area of the shaded part, round to the nearest tenth, this one. So this one I need to subtract, so 40 times 10 is 400. And then I need to subtract the circle, which is going to be, this is 10, so this is 5, so 25 pi. So 400 minus 25 pi gives me 321.5 centimeters squared. The area of a regular octagon with side length of 4 centimeters. Okay, here goes my wonderful drawings. Can't connect anything. I really think I should just not draw ever again. Okay, that's supposed to be an octagon, and each side length is 4. So my perimeter is going to be 32. My apothem I don't know yet, so I need to find my apothem. So that's going to be this right here. Okay, so we need to find the central angle degree here. And since it's 8 sides, we would take 8 minus 2, that's our n minus 2 times 180. So I get a total of 1080 degrees. And then I'm going to divide by 8 because that's the number of sides. And I get 135. Okay, I just realized that something looked really wrong, and it's because it is. So scratch all this out of your brain. Okay, when I'm looking for the central angle, not the total degrees, the central angle, I just have 360 and divide by the number of sides. So 360 divided by 8 is 45 degrees, and that's what each one of these is. And then I'm looking at just this piece, whoopsies, this piece right in here. Wow, that looks great. It's time for bed. Okay. And that's half of a central angle right there. So half of 45 is 22.5 degrees. And half of a side length, so I just have 2, and then this is my apothem that I need to find. So to do that, That's supposed to be a degree sign. To do that, I need to use my tangent function because I have opposite and I have adjacent. So tangent of 22.5 equals 2 divided by a. To solve that, I take 2 and I need to divide by tangent 22.5. And then I get my apothem, so 2 divided by tangent. And I get like 4.83 or something. So that is going to go right here for my A. So now I have my perimeter and my apothem, and I can go ahead and multiply. And I get 77.25, it says to round to the nearest tenth, so 77.3 centimeters squared. Okay, the last few here says if the height of a rectangle is tripled, which of the following is true? The perimeter is tripled, the area is multiplied by 9, or the area is tripled. So when in doubt, kind of draw these out. So if just the height of a rectangle is tripled, okay? So when just the height is tripled, then the area is going to be tripled. And I can kind of show it to you. Because if I just make something up, let's say this is a 2 by 4, and now it's going to be a 6 by 4. Okay, so I could check out the perimeter. Well, the perimeter of this is going to be 12, and then the perimeter of this is going to be 20, so that doesn't really work. I can check out the area. The area of this is 8, and the area of this is 24, and you'll notice that the area is tripled, so that's why the area is tripled. If the radius of a circle is doubled, what happens to the area? So you should recognize this, that it's going to be multiplied by 4, but if you're unsure, just go ahead and say, all right, this is my radius of 5, so that means I have an area of 25 pi. And then if I double it and make it 10, then that means I'm going to have 100 pi. So you'll notice 25 to 100 is multiplied by 4. A point is randomly chosen on segment AD. What's the probability that it's on BD? So you need to find the total number of points, or the total length of the whole thing of AD, which is going to be 12. So that's your denominator. And BD, which is 7. And that's your answer, 7/12. The probability that a point chosen randomly inside the rectangle lands within the trapezoid. Okay, so my whole rectangle is 6 times 10, which is 60 feet. So that's my denominator. And then I need to find the area of the trapezoid. So the trapezoid is going to be that 1/2 times your bases added together times your height. So I have 1/2 times 2 plus 4 times 4. So I have 6. So I have 12. And I think this is given in a decimal form, so that's 1/5 or 0.2 is your probability. And then that's it. Let me know if you have more specific questions. I know it got kind of confusing for me right here, but it's just because it's almost midnight and I don't know what the heck. I need some sleep. So, all right. Good luck on the test, everyone.